Throughout my career, I have heard a lot of discussions about what are the important skills and competencies for a product manager. As a matter of fact, I belong to a group on Facebook, and there was a poll around what are the most important skills for product managers, and there were a lot of good answers, things like listening skills, decisiveness, those kinds of things. But it took me a while to learn that there's really one most critical skill for successful product management, and it is time management. Hi, I am Greg with Prickrell Consulting, and if you are successful as a product manager, you will have many stakeholders that you're engaging with, and very soon you will find that they have so many demands on your time that you simply can't be effective. We used to jokingly call that a denial of service attack. Not from any malice, but stakeholders aren't aware of each other, they need your time, and if you give in to every demand for your time, there's a really good chance you won't be as effective as you could be. We read in the literature about product management about the importance of saying no, and it's usually in the context of saying no to stakeholders about scope of the product. But an even more important no is around your time. And if you want to be strategic and effective as a product manager, you are going to have to learn to say no when it comes to your time. But let's take a step back. Before you say no, you really have to map out exactly what you're trying to achieve. You need to differentiate what is critical from what's just important, and you need to focus on the critical things. So I would suggest that you write down what are the most critical things that you need to achieve, let's say next month, next quarter, next year, whatever they are, and put a plan together to achieve those things. And every time a demand comes in for your time, you compare it with your list of critical things and decide whether or not you're going to invest. And the truth is, in this process, you will alienate some folks. So we will talk about how you can minimize that. But saying no is not easy, but it's a skill you develop, and once you do it, you will find that it starts to become very natural. So one exercise I like to propose to product managers, especially new product managers, is look at your calendar for the week. It's usually full. I know when I was a full-time product manager, I would say half the time I was triple booked. But look at all the calendar entries and mark up those which are really strategic. Strategic activities that are going to help you achieve your strategic goals. And if it's less than 20% of your time, you are probably in real trouble. You are running the risk of becoming purely operational, of jumping on this treadmill, running really fast and not getting anywhere. So my advice to you is to think very carefully about your time. It is a precious resource. Define what is strategic and critical to you and invest time. And there's some things you can do to minimize the problems around saying no to people when they demand your time. The first is to be very transparent about what you're trying to achieve, this list of critical things that you need to do, because they're not just for you, they are for the product team. So on the product team, your stakeholders like engineering, marketing, sales need to understand what you're trying to achieve. And then adjust expectations continuously. I think the biggest failure in my career came from a period of time when I was super busy. I was running, I was doing a lot of strategic things, but I didn't communicate that as effectively as I should have to engineering. And they felt like I was kind of asleep at the wheel. I just wasn't there. And I could have avoided a lot of heartache by just making it clear to them that, guys, I can't do these things because I'm out fighting for our survival. So, what have we learned? Without a doubt, the most critical skill for you as a product manager is managing your time. Really understand what is critical and what's important and focus on what's critical. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.